Hey, Sam.
Hey, Eugene.
As promised.
Come on in.
Hello. Hi.
He really likes you. Come in. Sorry, it's a little bit messy.
It's a really nice place.
Thanks. It's more work than I thought.
It was such a deeply
you're like
honest exploration of
No,
those
that
very
was-
intimate moments of getting to know someone fully and the bravery and the courage it takes to open up and to risk it, to get closer, to risk dispelling a mystery, to risk putting out there something that's maybe unfavorable about yourself or dispels an illusion. And just getting as the audience to sit in that awkwardness, in that swing, in that breath before the release of a secret was lovely. Those are those moments that are so rife of where it's not just like any other day where you're going to risk it to get deeper and to take that chance. I thought really grounded performances, seeing them let their guards go down, and we got to see how they started to get to know each other. That journey of getting to know each other, from food preferences to past baggage, and learning from the risks, the successes and the failures of connecting with somebody new, and taking the steps forward to be honest to the person who you are, outside of the gaze of another.
This was really well shot. It was really well acted. It was beautifully done in this apartment. I believed that both of these actors were at the beginning stages of a relationship. And it was that awkward moment where, prior to taking your relationship to the next level, where you have to be an adult and talk about things that nobody wants to have to talk about right before you're intimate with somebody who you're attracted to, but it has to get done. So I thought, bravo for both of them playing that beautifully. And the one actor, the bravery coming through, it really showed that he was scared. It really showed that he was being very brave to talk about the fact that he was HIV positive. I also loved the other actor's performance where he wasn't too over the top, where it was his love interest left and then he started cleaning the apartment. At first, you don't know what he's doing, and then he starts and you're like, oh, he really is scared. So he played it really
It was
well.
really good because one, the performances, both of them had really strong performances. They really brought me in to the characters. Really good writing about a subject that I really don't really know much about HIV, and like it's really the writing really showed, and the directing and the short film overall really showed me aspects of LGBTQ life and life with HIV also that I didn't know about. So it was a really good story, really that needed to be told. So good job.
This was fascinating to me. I do know a fair bit of people who have transitioned to living as a gay man or woman after being married with children and just kind of navigating their new life. And I really found this interesting that this gentleman who is now doing that, it seemed like every time he had any type of an experience, he was learning something new. It's a fascinating thing to witness somebody learning new things and trying to understand, but also just really not getting it sometimes. It's a really, really well written. The two actors are fantastic. Really, really good. I loved the location. It was very realistic. And I really enjoyed the editing and the direction, and like I said, the writing. It's very, it didn't pull me out at all. It felt very real, very conversational. I felt like I was a fly in the wall of their date, which was really great to have it feel that way. So thank you for tackling this difficult and unknown topic for a lot of people. I think it's important. I think we all need to kind of realize that there are people that are transitioning into a new life, and what that means for them and what they're learning on a daily basis is interesting. So thank you so much.
Sam tackles the subject of HIV stigma, which is something that still very much permeates throughout the world today. I think that it's great to have a piece like this set now and discussed, because so many think that it's kind of a thing left in the past, but it very much is not. Stigma against those with HIV and AIDS is still very prevalent, especially in regards to the LGBTQ community, who got hit by it so hard when the virus first really started to become prominent in the world in the 1980s and 90s. So the way this script and story explores that prejudice and that stigma, and how it can be not just externalized but internalized as well, is really intelligent and thought-provoking, and hopefully can allow for open discussions about such stigmas, how they still are prevalent in the world, and what we could do to combat them.
I was so impressed by the authenticity with which the film managed to handle each of its main subjects, those being coming out as a gay or queer person, coming out as HIV positive, and also the beginnings of a relationship and the awkwardness and politeness that involves, wanting to present the best possible version of yourself, but also eventually having to be brave and share the secrets that you hold in the deeper parts of your life with someone new. I think that the power of this film is really in the contrast between how Eugene and Sam handled one another's secrets once they were shared, and I was surprised watching each of those moments unfold. I think that societally we have a perception of HIV and AIDS, and that is largely misinformed, and it's so important for us to see films and media like this that show the fear that people hold playing out, and also how difficult it is for the person who is HIV positive to be honest about that with someone else, and to have to also explain that factually.
I really, really enjoyed this. I thought that it was a really kind of heartbreakingly beautiful story to tell, and to commit oneself in any kind of relationship, but when you're also working through, are both of you out? Is it going to be comfortable? Is it, and not even just comfortable as in the relationship between each other, but being able to tell friends and family, and, you know, having that level of comfort as well, especially in a relationship, whether it's, you know, a new relationship or a more serious relationship, like being able to go to your friends about it. And so I thought that just kind of taking that and expanding on not only just those kind of ideas within a relationship of openness and comfort and honesty and vulnerability, but also taking it another step and exploring it even more of like what that next step would look like, what some of these conversations are when you think that you've gotten past this like incredibly brave, hard thing of like coming out. Like there can be other harder conversations after that. And I think that it's so interesting and, like I said, like heartbreakingly beautiful way of going about that.
So as a queer woman who didn't come out until a little bit later on, I related a lot to the story of Sam and the idea that he's trying to find his identity as a middle-aged gay man, and he even mentions his sort of midlife crisis coming out in this way, or people misinterpreting his identity as a midlife crisis. I liked how this story was technically a queer love story, but it didn't feel like a stereotypical tragedy, and it didn't feel like a total fantasy either. These were two real people who had opposing values, and the main character is naive and doesn't fully understand the experiences of other men in his community, and so he's obviously not really ready to be fully accepting of his own identity because of that. So I like that the film ends with some questions and leaves him in a place where he obviously has a lot more development to do, and because I think it helps you reflect on those aspects of your own personality.